One. Hello, everybody. Hello. Here we are.
4,
For 1 second.
3, 1.
Remember that there is some lag, so we're already live. Hello. We have me on one side, Potato as always, and on the other side, Strong Mary. Please introduce yourself. Mary?
Hello there. I'm Mari, and I like to hang out and just be a bit of a dork. I also do like talking about like random topics and like more or less just whatever tickles my fancy.
Certainly. So, yeah, basically, here we are, on another occasion, in this case, having the opportunity to meet Mary to see what is it that we end up going with this whole chance to, as she very well said, discuss. Luckily enough, it seems we have the opportunity to really almost do any kind of topic as it. Yeah, certainly a very good chance it has arrived upon us to talk about almost anything, so do you have anything in mind for us to start, Mary?
Hold up. It sometimes cuts a second, like when you talk for some reason every now and again. I don't know why Discord's being weird.
Maybe I could try to check. Maybe it is on my end.
It could be on your end potentially.
Wait, let me do this. I am a little bit closer to the mic. Did anything particular change, or is it still the same?
I can hear you better now.
But it still cuts off, or
it hasn't been cutting off since you leaned closer.
Okay. Maybe it was my fault. I wasn't
Maybe it was
so
a distance
close
from the mic thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how does it really sound, but just in case, I don't. I guess it would be kind of weird to hear, or at least from my perspective, I think I wouldn't.
It sounds perfectly
like to have,
good to me.
Fine.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
I don't know. I found it strange to have the mic, like, I have it one finger and not one, how to say it, one coin of distance from my mouth right now. That is why I say that I am too close, I think. But if it sounds fun, I don't know. But, well, I guess. And also, hello, Inko. Welcome. I don't know why do we have no audio, no alerts, no nothing of that sort. I don't know why it happens. Stream alerts doesn't work. Wonderful bot that doesn't work.
Don't worry, I have a similar issue with like my sound effects because I did something and now I get no sound effects.
Yeah. And what do you try to use for that?
I try and use, I think, Streamlabs for it. Probably should figure something else.
Yeah. I don't know what. Well, I think one of the good reasons is there are too many people nowadays streaming as there is still some vacations in a part of the world, because for example here we are still on vacation, and I know that there is kind of an overuse of the servers. Therefore, it is kind of unavoidable to have people simply, using what is given to them for free. So sadly, we don't have the opportunity to have the best, but at least it's free.
At least you can make do with what you got.
Yeah.
And even being able to get that free stuff in general is better than nothing at all.
Well, yeah. One of the opportunity to add more, in a sense, soul to what you do is always nice, because even if it is free, it doesn't really mean that in any way whatsoever it would be bad.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite. You can personalize it sometimes as much as you want, as long as you understand the software that you're using or the page that you're using and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. I think as in this case, as far as I can say, is also it happens that it is true. You have other services that allow you to host yourself everything, but I don't know. Is Mary, in your case, do you have a good PC? Because some other more advanced stuff.
I'm using a laptop to do things.
That is that is a problem, or not a problem. That is the problem of higher end stuff. Sometimes people like you, like me, because I also have a laptop, don't have the possibility of using the best, nor anything like that.
Yeah, which is kind of a pitfall for like a lot of things, because a computer does, obviously it's got more like powerful components and all that jazz, so it means it can like run more demanding things or more programs than like a laptop could ever really truly be able to.
Yeah, but I mean, sadly, we don't have a PC because I think it is kind of obvious that we don't have the possibility of having one. Be whatever the reasons, but the possibility to have a PC isn't really there, So one does what they can with different stuff. And also, sorry. Hello, Ayumu, and hello, Cody. Welcome both of you.
Hello, Cody.
Sorry for me.
Hope you're having a good day out there.
I think you were streaming. I think, or was it yesterday? I don't really remember. I saw you, Cody. I just know that I saw you. So hello.
Wait, I missed the Cody stream. Oh no!
That's why I say maybe it wasn't today. Maybe
it was yesterday. Yeah, you were right about it. I missed it.
You missed yesterday's stream?
Oh no!
I cannot believe it.
I cannot believe that I've done this. How could I have done this to myself?
Yeah, this is so sad.
This is the saddest timeline.
No.
No.
But I mean, I don't know. I think, for example, with Cody Hero, it is very fun because he has said it, I think, a good amount of times now that he wasn't that much expecting to enjoy it as much as he's doing now. So very nice to see that he found reasons to keep streaming. Because now I can even try to do it properly. Shout out Cody. Because we now have the cut for more than what we could have expected before.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, I even have a story about when I did streaming stuff originally. So a year and 2 months ago, before I started streaming, like last month about, I streamed 3 times, and didn't stream that entire year and 2 months like afterwards until last month.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this, I just kind of sat there not doing much other than probably like doing the job that I'm paid to do. But other than that, yeah.
Most of the time, it isn't even an obligation to stream. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
But when you find what is entertaining for you, it is always nice to have the opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because streaming itself, that is one of the things that I always think about. If it isn't said enough, or if it was said the opposite, that it can't be fun, when the reality is, you can enjoy so many things about streaming, and you can always abiding by the rules, obviously, do it in a way in which you can have as much fun as you want. That it will be surprising for those who have never tried it, I would say. But I don't know. Being here is a nice gift, let's say like that.
Yeah.
Being here.
Even being able to do this right now is a gift.
Certainly.
Because, yeah. And also, I have like the weirdest story in general. Because when I didn't stream, I just kind of originally when I was streaming the first time around, I only like 6 followers. And how for a lot of people normally, of course, when you don't stream, you don't gain followers. But because I had streamed in the past, and I had like been planning to stream at some point during that month and 2 years, but never had the time to, I was kind of in that awkward ground of like being able to say like, oh, I'm probably going to stream again soon, which simultaneously kind of kept alive the fact that I am a streamer in a way, as weird as it feels. Because of that, I was able to still grow, and also I made a lot of friends along the way. So that kind of helps.
That is that is the funny about it, because I think if it hasn't happened yet, you will also see it happening in the future. That in the same situation that you find yourself now, there is other people always. So those who have gone through those same experiences, or those who have seen people like that, tend to relate very much. I mean,
yeah,
in a sense, it is crazy to see how many people is inside itself of the community.
Yeah.
In ways that is amazing, because you will never expect to have like how many around nowadays. I would say 5,000 people doing streaming the way in which we do here, as in be doing a lot of that. And to see people like that knows what you are going through, and knows that, as you said, for example, you have your own reasons, and there is no necessity whatsoever to explain what your reasons are.
Yeah.
We don't need, as some people will say, okay, but you need to give us the complete explanation about your life. No,
it's just I gave you like basically the slideshow presentation of it. It's like shortened and not like every part of the story. Of course.
Yes. And just with that, people can understand and can support what you are doing.
Yeah.
And can help you. So it is always nice to see it,
It is.
I mean, finding communities that support each other seems to be hard, and having landed in a place like here feels very nice. Let's say like that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy as well. Like, when you start out, like, little do you know, like, at the time, that a lot of people that you first meet, they're connected to more people than you ever really originally ever thought about. And it's like when you hang out with people long enough, like you just see like these like communities and these like trees of people just like grow and sprout out of nowhere.
I mean, yeah, but or not bad, and it all happens naturally. That is the crazy thing.
Yeah. Don't worry, I have like a naturally recurrent thing too where I just sometimes will say something like, yeah, right? I get it. It's the but is like your
Yeah,
equivalent to like me saying that at the end of my sentences.
yeah. Trying to not be so negative with stuff. So yeah, but well,
Yeah.
in that sense, yeah, kind of crazy also to see. Also, people that keeps appearing, let's say like that, more and more people joining, but I don't know, kind of crazy. It is always not crazy in a negative way. Crazy to see that it always keeps growing,
Yeah.
and that more and more people is trying. That is the good thing.
It's just nice.
Yeah. Um, I I wouldn't say that every single time everybody can have as much fun as they could if they were capable of dropping all of their worries, because by nature it is kind of impossible to do something of that sort. But
Yeah.
when people have a good time and you can also share that good time with them, it is that you can even more enjoy being part of those communities, or at the very least having been part of the path that ended up driving to that moment of happiness that people enjoy, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So, fine, very fine, I guess.
And then another thing that's just kind of popped to my mind is like there's a lot of people that are more obsessed about like the numbers or if they're getting enough views, and it's like that's not the point of it all. The point of it is just to have fun and talk with your friends and everything like that. That's how I see it.
Certainly. Yes. Um, I, I guess it it comes from so many sides that the problem is really to understand from where this particular person is trying to come from, let's say, as one can't really know if they are saying it because they really are worried about
If they're
because
if they're worried about like their numbers and their growth, or if they just want to hope to entertain people.
yeah, as in they want to be good at it, or they want the good money that comes from doing it.
Yeah.
And that is what gets hard. But in a sense, because there is so many people, you can get closer to those who do it with the same type of idea that you have, who do it because it is fun, who do it because it is enjoyable, and who do it without almost no pressure whatsoever. Because, and I mean, life itself ended up teaching us that when you when you force yourself to be with people like that, it gets kind of heavy. Because they are going at one pace and you can't even try to match what they are doing.
Yeah.
Not even close.
And there's a lot of good people that I've met like through the entire community so far who have been like just so cool and just nice to talk with. And yet here I am as well, talking with you, Tupo. Enjoying the conversation.
Certainly. I mean, that is the crazy part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it feels kind of surreal to have so many chances to meet so many people, but yes, this is one of those chances in this case.
It is.
And also, very nice. Also, sorry. Hello, Gaster. Hello, my man. I hope you enjoy Breath of Fire. And now, here we are with Mary. So I hope you can also enjoy this.
Yeah. Just also been like just supporting so many people, and it's just like it's great to see because it's like you get to see so many people have fun with what they're doing. So many people with like bubbly personalities or people with more serious tones. Like it just shows you like the amount of people that really are out there in the world. It's nuts.
Yeah. Not only that, but the possibility to support in, as you well said, so many people. Because maybe from the outside it might seem like, nah, how can you say so many?
Yeah.
Nowadays I can't even keep like 50 names or so in my mind. And I am pretty sure I know more than 100 people or so. There is that much people and more obviously. So yeah, this is big. This is bigger than what meets the eye sometimes, let's say. But I don't
Yeah.
know, it is enjoyable.
And I just like being the person that just like shows up in people's chats and say hello. And it's actually seeming to come full circle too, because people actually remember that I show up now and again. Because they're like, oh, hi, it's Mari. And it's like, wait,
Yeah,
they actually remember me?
I mean, that is always the crazy thing. And also, yeah, wait. Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, we are being popular now. We are the trend. But I don't know. It feels nice because sometimes time really feels like it is going slower when there is so many people around. And although sometimes it feels like that, in other occasions, sadly, I yeah, that is kind of a question. How do you deal with the fact that sometimes you might feel like there isn't enough time to be with everyone?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, it is always nice, and you can always, at the very least, try. And in the fact itself of trying, it is that you can see that people don't really seem to get don't seem to get angry as one would expect it to happen.
Yeah.
I, sometimes it comes from a side of we haven't thought from other places that people gets angry if you don't talk with them every single day or every 6 hours or so. When in reality, I I have known people that after almost a month of having seen them, I know that if I see them, I am happy, and if they see me, they are also happy.
Yeah. It's always nice to see because, like, I have these phases where I talk with people almost daily, and then I might just unintentionally, because of work and life reasons, disappear for 3 or 4 months. And then I talk with them again, and it's like nothing happened.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it is part of the whole cycle of being, in a sense, a functional adult to sadly have to go through to work and to have to keep doing what is also kind of necessary. Because, I mean, I would be happy if what I had to do was socialize, but sadly it isn't a possibility. I have also to try and stay alive, let's say, in the shortest term possible. Do what I can to eat properly, to rest properly, and take care of oneself, let's say. But yeah, as Cody says, recharging, basically. And that is the whole part of also balancing everything, no?
Mm-hmm. It's also just like you learn new things as well. It's not just meeting people, talking with people, and all that stuff. It's also you learn new skills and hobbies unintentionally from talking with some people long enough because it's like you learn more about the person, you get curious about what they like, and then it's like, let me look into this. And then bam, you find something that you just get into out of nowhere. It's like a whole new world opened up.
Yeah. And I mean, in a sense, I think at the very least, on my previous experiences, it happened kind of similarly, but less socially speaking, because I still did the same of wow, all of these things seem to be interesting. All of these topics that we discuss with somebody seem interesting. I did the same, but it didn't came from a conversation that I had with somebody. It didn't came from a one-on-one talk with Mary as we're having here, but rather from a video that I watched somewhere else. And to have the possibility of talking itself is what feels so important in a sense, because you have the chance also to to find what not only is interesting about the topic, but what others themselves find interesting, instead of having to, okay, I sit down and I watch this particular video. And a video can only speak so much about something before it ends, unavoidably, while you are talking, or no, in the other hand, when you are talking with somebody else, you can talk for hours on end. You can talk for days, weeks if it is necessary, about
I
something that is
mean, I had a
curious.
5-hour conversation, not kidding, last week with somebody.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
shows you how long
that's
it can
one.
go.
Yeah, as long as there is interest, a conversation is, in that sense, completely more uh, full of sweet knowledge that you can extract, in the sense of not simply talking because you want the knowledge, but
Because you're
while you also
genuinely
talk,
like fascinated.
yeah, while you also talk, you get the opportunity, like a, a secondary part of talking, let's say, a, a gift that comes with just socializing itself, let's say. And I don't know. It is kind of crazy in that sense, I would
It
say.
is, but it's also like really, really nice just to like have these like opportunities, these chances to just meet people and grow as a person. It's such a liberating like thing.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. In that sense, because it is as equally, I will say, as equally crazy as the chance of meeting so many people. Not that, wow, I cannot believe that I am going to sit down with this guy and I am going to talk about these things for 5 hours. I don't know. I am forced to talk about insects with somebody who I don't even know because this person is forcing me to talk about the insects. No, you can take a conversation however you want. You can be with whoever you want also, in obviously understanding that there is a certain limit to it, but that is already accepted. And with those who you can be, you can choose to talk about whatever. And the opportunity itself is beautiful in that sense.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, the chance itself is nice.
It's just so it's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm repeating like saying it's great, but it really just is.
I mean, the, I understand where it comes from, because how can one try to explain what is so unconscious, let's say, about a conversation? How can we try to explain to somebody else how great it can be to, as you said before, talk for 5 hours on end, to have the opportunity to be with a friend and literally speak your mind out about something that gets you interested and something that both of you enjoy, if you don't have the opportunity of experiencing something like that, it is hard to bear it. But when you have been there, it is that you can say, yeah. And there is almost no need for further explanation because you have already been there. What more you need to be said?
Yeah. And then streaming's also an avenue, like, as I mentioned, like, to meet people. It's also a way to get your name out there, in a way, of, like, that you're a person that does this. You're just doing you, you're being yourself. And I also just like the whole VTubing aspect of everything, because it's like, instead of it just being directly your face, you can put yourself in a character and just, like, live out your wildest dreams in a way. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. And I mean, the, the possibility of being there and the possibility also of talking with, in that sense, or not with, about whatever motivates you instead of needing, for example, to take it as a show, because that kind of can loop back to what we talked about before. Sometimes people try to make it a unnecessarily structure. When you have the chance of doing whatever you want, you can do it the way in which you like it the most. There is no obligation whatsoever to take it, I don't know, as a, what is it, a 5 to 9 show or something like that.
Yeah.
You can always enjoy it, and you can always do what feels good, and you can open up yourself slowly instead of, like, sometimes it sadly has to happen in the world. You are pushed in the front of an audience. You are pushed to be now the focus of everyone else. No, you can do it slowly. You can take your time, and you can literally put no pressure whatsoever. And it feels nice. That is the good part about it, that it can feel nice. Not that, okay, you're not taking it as seriously as somebody else, you are going to do bad. No, kind of the opposite. Because you're taking it from the way that you wanted to take it, you can see that it feels nice.
Yeah. All right, let's see and move on to something, because if we keep talking, I feel like we've talked as much as we can about it without, like, just walking into an infinite cycle.
Yeah.
For example, like, stuff like, how is your day going right now, Tupo?
So far, everything fine. Everything fine, I will say. I was, as always, I think you could relate to it. As everybody who has a collab itself, you get a little bit nervous because the biggest worry is to not know if something is going to happen outside of the collab itself. Like, I don't know. Maybe I will have a problem with my electricity out of nowhere or something like that.
Yeah.
So, aside from those previous nerves, everything else was fine. And now that we are here, very, very, very well, I will say.
Yeah.
And you, how everything going?
I'm doing pretty well today. My day's been well, barring, like, one thing, but for now, let's keep on going.
Yeah.
I've been actually talking with, like, friends about, like, art things, and, like, being, like, that guy that just loves to get art with my friends, because it's just really cool to see. Yeah.
I mean, the opportunity, when you have it, is always nice to take it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a why not situation.
Why not?
I mean, in a sense, thinking about it, because this is between art is another way to take pictures.
Yeah.
Can it can even be kind of compared to those. I think you have seen them, no?
Yeah.
When in older times people had to get their own because there were no cameras, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you get art of those moments that maybe happened outside of an stream, or even if they happen inside of an stream. A picture, a more artistical picture, is more capable of picturing itself everything that happened. So the opportunity when you have it is always beautiful, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or not that I guess. Not that I. But what question? Let me ask something.
Yeah.
I this is too much of a curiosity that I have. And how much art have you already gotten?
Oh, I've gotten a lot.
Yeah.
I have, well, all my emotes I got done from a friend of mine. I have a piece actually almost done. I have 2 pieces from another artist, and I have 3 pieces from another artist. A friend of mine gave me another piece for free, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. There is okay. I think this is kind of a little bit of a deviation from the topic itself.
Yeah.
But even if you have a particularly favorite one, don't you like all of them?
I like all of the artists.
Yeah.
All of them have their own style. All of them do things differently than the others, and it's like, what would I say? Like I have a good thing. It's like a appetizer platter where it's like all these little like snacks. And like you take one, you look at it, and you taste it. And it tastes good. But each one tastes different. You get the analogy?
Yeah. I mean, in my case, I can not only relate to that, and also to the fact that sometimes, or not sometimes, always, when you get art, you also remember what was happening in that moment, let's say. And when you get a piece, mm, even more if it has more people, you go back into those particular memories. So it is a kind of time capsule, let's say. Even if itself, sometimes it doesn't even picture anything particular. I mean, a profile picture doesn't need to be that completely about something.
Yeah.
But just because you received it, let's say, 5 months ago, you go back into those 5 months ago, and you remember those 5 months ago, and you remember how everything was going those 5 months ago, and how so many crazy things were happening at that time, as always.
Oop, I see a question. Are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo, or are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest? You fool! I am stronger than Satoru Gojo. Satoru Gojo quakes in fear of my might. I had to. It was right there.
I mean, I guess. I guess. So there is your response, Inko.
I'm a bit of a jokester dork.
Yeah. I mean, better than anything else. So
Yeah. I wonder if Nico could hear that. I swear, if Nico comes back and says like I didn't answer the question, I'm gonna be so.
No, don't worry. He is here. believe in him as he believed that you were also going to answer.
Yes.
You know. But I mean, are you kind of a dweeb in that sense? Do you like anime,
I
Japanese,
do like anime.
overall? Mm-hmm.
So I watched. Okay, I know someone's probably gonna comment on this. I used to watch Lucky Star. It's like a teenager.
What?
I feel kind of old, like going back in time, because Lucky Star is kind of a huge capsule of like 2007, like that era, like anime otaku culture,
Yeah.
and it's
But,
it really is a throwback. I remember
well, I mean,
watching
yeah,
it
yeah.
again recently, and it's like, wow, this feels so dated, but I love this.
I mean, in a sense, as always, because at that point I am pretty sure there were no. I think there shouldn't have been any as we have them today, iPhones and such. So, for example, seeing in media like that, out of nowhere, one of those old phones is kind of always,
It's like
wow,
an old flip phone. It's like, oh, I remember growing up with this. It's like
yeah,
that type of thing.
yeah, and I don't know. I think it once again is wow. My
Wow.
memories of this are incredible.
And the funny thing is,
Now,
speaking of like old throwback technology, you wouldn't
mhm,
believe this, but I'm sitting in a room right now with a PS2,
mhm.
PlayStation
Oh,
2. That's a
mm,
great classic.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, is it functional? Yeah,
Yes, it is functional. And I was
yeah,
playing
yeah.
on it like
So
5 days ago, actually.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it functions. It
Yeah,
properly works.
it properly works and it can read the discs.
Yeah,
It's
and I
also sitting
mean,
next to a PS3. What fun times.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It always is nice to have the opportunity to remember those eras.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Kind of crazy to see how time passes. So in some cases,
Also, it's getting to the
but
point like where they're bringing back like these PS2 games, like
mhm.
remastering them, and it's like I never would have thought I would have seen the day. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
heck, Persona 3 just got a re-release.
But what do you? For example, I know that Persona wasn't really that popular. Were you a fan
Oh
on those
yes,
times?
I've been a fan since Persona 3 actually, which was back in like
Yeah,
2006. Oh my goodness.
yeah, but I mean, it is kind of crazy to, yeah, I mean, kind of crazy to see somebody from the western part of the world be a fan of Persona. Very well, I mean, I guess, yeah. In my case, it was more of a shock, quote unquote shock, to see God of War being once again more out of that. But yeah, nowadays Persona supposedly they are also working on the main line. Um, is it Shin Megami? Shin Megami Tensei, the main line,
Yeah.
or so yeah, they are working on all of that and not working, bringing back the old ones once again. So very nice to see that it keeps being something, not not something, keeps being appreciated, and to also have the opportunity to, not us, I guess, but those who never play them, uh, experience them for the first time, because I don't know, particularly personas are kind of dense with their stories, so to experience them is nice, I guess.
Yeah. And it's just like so nice to see like the old Persona games just being like brought back again because like a lot of people came into the series from Persona 5 So a lot of them never got to play Persona 3 or Persona 4 or Persona 2 or 1. They haven't remade those yet. Someday they should. I hope they do.
Yeah. I mean, what? Wait, it isn't Persona 1 or 2? One of those, I'm pretty sure, supposedly some of the drama can't be brought back because of the topics that they talk about.
Yeah.
I am not so wrong.
If I remember.
I think.
It's like a really complicated issue.
Yeah. I mean, times change. Therefore, some topics cannot be really brought back. Quote unquote, sadly.
Yeah.
Not sadly, but we lose a great game, let's say like that. We end up losing a great game because of some, in some ways, unrelated issues. But
yeah,
to have the rest of it, once again, I mean, and also, as you said, to have them here and even more polish is what makes them very amazing. Because I don't know if I would have played, for example, Persona 3 itself nowadays. Some of the changes that it had, because it was remastered, are more than welcome. At least from my perspective, how do you feel about it? Would you have liked it to be almost a carbon copy? Would you have liked the personas to be kind of a carbon copy? Or do you like the changes?
It's an interesting thing. So, I know Persona 1 like had like the whole, when it originally was released in the US thing, that like for some reason they like changed like the appearance of one of the characters, one of the main characters, and for some reason like set the game in America instead of Japan, even though it's like very evident that the game is set in Japan. So it also has to do with like stuff like Japan at the time, like Americanizing some games just so they can be popular in the US.
Yeah. I mean, it was still in that era. It isn't that old, not that much old, but it still is close to the era where also, for example, Sega games also have different versions like that. Where there was the America version, the Europe version, and the Asia version, or sometimes not even Asia, only China, only Japan, only Russia, depending where it was placed. But I don't know. I guess to have them nowadays, as we said before, to have the possibility of experiencing them is nice, and to have, even if they are not going to be brought back, to having seen them and to know also what all of that meant is very, very enjoyable, let's say.
Yeah.
Because knowing that whole history and knowing, in a sense, the meta-narrative, let's say, that is to see the influence of Persona, also, not only Persona itself, but the influence of Persona on other games and all of that is also beautiful. And I wouldn't lose that, for example. I wouldn't like to not have that in my life, let's say. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
But what are you looking forward to now? Is there any particular project or something that you're looking forward to? Nowadays?
Well, I have an art pad now. So that's something to look forward to. and I can draw with it. I'm not good at art though, but I can draw with it.
And wait. Now? Just now? Or since when? Kind of.
Oh, I got the pad about a week ago.
Ah, yeah. Now. Yeah. Just now. So.
Very much just now.
Well, how's it going? Have you already started practicing?
I have started practicing, yeah. And I went crazy, and I got a bunch of references.
Very fun.
Yeah, I got about 93 of them. Not a joke.
What?
Yeah, I went crazy. I went really hard.
On a...
I spent an entire day looking around for since Twitter and stuff. If the people that I'm moots with have a reference up. Some of them did, some of them I had to talk with. Well, also I like talking with them more because I've learned that there are references that most people don't typically see at all times. That's what I've learned. Because there's either a second reference or a piece of art that's either really long in their timeline. So it's from a long time ago. So because of that, you get so much. That's the great thing about what would I say? Being an artist in practice.
Yeah. I don't know. I am still thinking about the 80. No, how much was it? 91 reference, but I guess in a sense it is always nice to have the opportunity to practice, and very crazy also to see that. I didn't know that in my case, that sometimes people has a second reference. I know that it is a problem because some people forgets to pin, or I mean not that forgets. Sadly, not everybody can pay Twitter any kind of Twitter premium to have highlights. Therefore, not everybody can have 5 different pins or as many as they need. So if they don't have pinned that art, it, as you said, it gets lost in the way in some place, and sadly one has to search for it and has to go and dig deep into the archives to see if you can find it or not. At least in your case, I guess you have the opportunity and kind of the luck to ask people and to get those. I would say, but I don't know, very nice. I would expect, no?
Yeah.
Now that you have so many.
Also, there's some references for other things in particular that sometimes are not open for the public, or it's it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. You know what I mean? More detailed things. I mean, to be fair, it helps with proportion and a more accurate drawn. You know what I mean?
Yes. But I mean, also, in some cases it is kind of embarrassing for people to share it. In some others, it is that people directly don't even have it. So it's kind of crazy to see that sometimes people forgets to have not a proper, as if it were an obligation to have it, but a good reference, let's say like that. A reference that you can get things out of without worrying so much.
Yeah.
I would try to say.
But also the thing with that type of stuff too is it's really hard to describe it, because it's how do you describe to people I have a reference of okay, for the phrase like artistic nudity, I guess, would be like accurate. Because like a lot of people, like if you do art, they sometimes ask like, "Are you fine with this?" Because honestly, I respect when people ask, because it's like they want to gauge if you are fine with practicing like that. But it's also like it also just helps with more accurate body proportions, unironically. Yeah. Like that's the thing of like art is like it becomes like a thing of like understanding like human like I don't know, human anatomy and proportions.
Well, yeah. Doing art reps, as they will call it, doing your proper reps.
It's like for example,
get...
like you know how in like some art colleges, art schools, like they have like these nude models that like pose, and it's like for practicing drawing human anatomy. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it only feels weird if you make it weird, because like we're all human.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, basically what you said, it doesn't really have to be weird. Some people, when you are not into it, it feels weird. But once you understand the necessity of it, it is that you can see it as something that is kind of a must to have, because in a sense, not only sometimes the character itself, how to say it? Okay. Not only you have the character on its clothes, but also you have a character on itself. And if you want to give it a different kind of vibe, whatever one you want to give it, you should have a proper reference. Because if you don't know how that human, as you said, looks under the clothes, how can you do a proper show? There are at least, from the top of my head, I can barely remember one or two cases where people has clearly detailed enough their whole models that if you wanted to do it without a different type of wardrobe, let's say, you could do it even if the reference isn't nude or anything like that. But the rest, the proportions get distorted when you have clothes. And not only distorted,
of course,
they stop existing.
That's why I like to ask for like both. Usually, it's like one for proportions, one for the clothing. You know what I mean. Also, I think your thing's cutting again.
I don't know. I want to be too close to my head. Sorry. Let me. Sorry. Are we fine once again? I don't want to. Sorry. I don't know. I think unconsciously it makes me feel weird to be so close. But well, that basically. I don't know. I guess in a sense also. Well, no.
Yeah,
wait.
Understandable.
How are you doing now, or how are you feeling that you have so many references? What is guiding you towards what you want to create? Are you doing one project completely, then you move on? Are you doing different ones all at the same time? How is it going?
I feel inspired to draw more, and my end goal is to be able to not be the greatest artist ever, but I would like to say at least as decent as some of my friends who do art themselves.
Well, I mean, in a sense, you already have a little bit of progress. Not a little bit. You have a lot more progress than somebody who, for example, doesn't even get the concept of proportions as you talk about, or the concept of a nude model that is, as you well said, necessary in some cases. So yeah, I guess progress is getting made. But, well, any particular thing that you're stuck with nowadays?
Just keeping a steady drawn hand, like making better shape. Pretty much.
Okay.
But that can be done with like proper like writing practice.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I think practice, yeah, necessary, but it gets kind of hard after the 50th time or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see the necessity, but I still don't see the drive behind it. Let's say. I guess. But well, I mean, yeah. What are you thinking about, or how are you facing it? Are you getting everything done, and you, as you finish a piece, you publish that, you send it to people? How are you?
I send it to like my friends. They're mostly like very scuffed and cursed doodles so far, because I grew up not being particularly an artist. I was more musically inclined actually, as a kid. Was a choir student actually for 15 years. Yeah.
Damn. But you, a choir or a singer or one of those more?
I was a singer.
Well, I mean, in a sense, completely kind of unrelated, but now you have the skill to be a virtual singer. You know?
A virtual singer, yes. Kind of like that Cinemiko. No, but seriously though, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, in a sense, not, yeah, you have the possibility. Kind of crazy to think about it, and even more. 15 years. What a nice amount of time. Yeah. That is real practice. That was practice. And wait. I have a question, but before that, let me verbally say, hello, Klondike. Welcome. Yes. Here we are with Mari. But question, hello. Mari.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your voice nowadays?
How do I feel about my voice in terms of like singing?
Yeah.
It's not as good as it used to be, but yeah, I still sing now and again. I sometimes sing at work, and it's just like.
I guess, yeah, but is in your case, after so much time after so much practice, let's say, do you still have that kind of feeling of what is it, of discomfort when you have to hear yourself sing, or when you have to pay attention to how you're singing? Something that
I simultaneously pay attention to like my tone and stuff like that. I might not be the best singer in the world, but at least I know the core fundamentals. Which I would definitely say that knowing the core fundamentals, the breathing techniques and stuff like that, is always great. And maybe don't want to slight bit of music theory, but you don't necessarily need to know, as long as you know the starting pitch. If you know the starting pitch, you will know where to sing in terms of sheet music. Like, you could be in C sharp, I think. Even though C sharp, I'm pretty sure, is like something. Hold up. Now I have to see, like, if C sharp's even, like, humanly possible. Yeah, it is. C sharp or DB major. Wow. I always sucked at music theory.
Yeah, no problem. this isn't a test.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I mean, yeah. Sorry for getting once again further from the mic. Sorry. I mean, in a sense, the next question is then, and what do you think? Are you going to do something close in the future? Something like a karaoke stream? Only karaoke?
Oh, I plan on doing that at some point.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Question. And
Yeah.
another question. And because you are getting your model done, and you're close to a new debut,
Yeah.
are you going to sing something in the debut?
Maybe. I'll find out when the time comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait. We kind of ended up changing topics. We were at art.
We were at art, we were at
But
streaming, we were at just like general stuff, and now we're in music, singing.
yeah. But we were the last one before music. We were at art,
Yeah.
and my question was, I mean, I had a question.
Yeah.
And that was something like, how much are you enjoying it so far? Do you keep enjoying it?
Oh, I am
you did?
enjoying it. I like whenever I'm thinking of like my friends, I'm thinking like, boom, art idea.
Yeah. I mean, but a question that I always want to ask to those who do art, and how are you finding yourself with putting what you think into paper, or in this case into the drawing project?
Usually I'm thinking of like, how can I portray my friends like in the way that I want to?
Mm-hmm. And in that sense, do you find that your skills match what you imagine?
Yeah, I'm not. As I mentioned before, I'm not great at art, but I can still enjoy the visualization process. Even though my hands may not be able to bring my visualization to life, I know that someday, if I practice long enough, hard enough, I'm gonna get there eventually. You know, like the good old mindset of practice does make perfect.
Yeah, well, I mean, very nice, very rare to see people with that mindset. Can I ask something about it?
The mindset.
Yeah.
So
Like,
how I grew up, I kind of okay. So this is about like me growing up as a kid. My family was not particularly the most supportive of dreams, but because my mind, like because I was born different, my brain decided to turn that into inspiration. So in every time I'm told like, how do you expect to achieve this dream? How do you think you're going to be able to live off this? I'm like, practice hard enough and I'll get there.
what I mean, the only obvious thing is always, I guess, now, as always, it happens that we grow to be older. I guess you have already found that it literally is kind of if not one of the best mindsets to have, you know?
Yeah.
So,
it's like,
very
even
nice
if
in
you
that sense.
grow up in like a defeatist like mindset like household potentially for whatever reason, Like, even like if you know or if you believe hard enough, you can defeat the mindset. You can end the cycle.
Yeah. So very nice. I
Yes.
not that I guess certainly a very big advantage to have. Well, and okay, I think this is maybe too much, but how many dreams do you have right now?
Oh, I had a lot of dreams, but like the two primary ones are become an artist and become a musician. Streaming to me is a secondary, even though I do like it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's my vessel to like have people realize that I exist in the world in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Because inevitably, say I do get good at one or the other, like singing or art, it creates a new avenue of like, because of the streaming and because people would like be paying attention to what I do, that it creates this whole people will see what I do eventually. It's just I gotta grind hard enough. Or at least, well, not hard enough, like keep going long enough.
Yeah. But I mean, as Klondike says, somebody, in your case, an artist, or well, not simply an artist, a creative man doing what she wants. Very nice to see it, and very
Yes.
beautiful to.
I
I guess.
also. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead, Tupo. You continue.
Okay. No, I mean, very crazy to see that you have found the dedication to it, because sometimes people, not everyone, those who are creative, seem to have a hard time doing what they like the most. So very nice to see it, as I said before. Also that you have the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that. Please continue. Sorry.
I also will like. What would I say? Like, no, support people and try to see them do their best. Because seeing people doing their best, thriving on what they love, being themselves, is one of the best things to ever see in this world. Because when you see somebody laughing, somebody smiling, somebody enjoying their life, that you know that they found their purpose, that they found what made them happy, what made them themselves, what made them just enjoy the life that they have.
Yeah. And I mean, not only it is nice, it is kind of, I kind of a mixed feeling. I would say, because in some moments it feels like there isn't enough people. In some others,
Yeah.
kind of out of nowhere, you find that so many people is already decided on what they want to do that it always is nice to be there. In that sense, as I said, I kind of mixed feelings, because sometimes, yeah, you are constantly seeing people driving. In some other moments, I guess no, yeah, it has more to do with the mind space in which one is and how one is also seeing life and all of that. Because if you are negatively thinking, maybe you can't avoid to see things badly, I would say.
Yeah,
But
pessimism is a very powerful thing too.
yeah, when you can turn that switch into seeing the good things, and also not only seeing them, allowing them to be, and allowing them also to affect you as a person, is what makes it even greater, let's say. But I don't know, I guess it is always nice. Sorry, once again, not that I guess, the proof is being there is very nice.
Yeah.
And also, in a sense, I, I don't know if you see it like that, but you are doing good, somebody else is also doing good, and if you help those who are doing good, both of you not only keep doing as equally good, both of you get a certain kind of in a sense, boost, let's say,
Yes.
and can do even greater. And if you decide to take it an even further step down, if you decide to open up to more people, you can also help more. And if you decide to only focus on the one that you already know was doing good, because sometimes, let's say, I don't know, a particular Vtuber friend that you have, an example, this person is close to a very big goal, let's say, and the more you help them to achieve what they are doing, the more you see that things keep doing great. Not that, oh no, we're stagnating. When one puts the effort toward those things, it is that those things feel great.
Yeah.
And the more you work, the better it feels, let's say. Very, very crazy. I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much, so let me end it there.
Go ahead and ramble as much as you want. I'm a rambler myself.
No. I think it was very balanced what you have been talking about. So yeah. But basically that, I guess, very, very nice to see it happening and to also support others. But, well, I don't know. I think I still have questions, so...
Go ahead and ask a question.
How are you dealing with time nowadays?
How do I deal with time and time management? Well, on days that I don't work, they're usually the days that I plan to stream. I don't have the best schedule. In fact, I don't really have like a schedule. I just tend to stream and do stuff whenever I feel like it. But like in the other bits of free time when I'm not doing that, or if I decide not to stream that day, I'm usually learning how to rig my model better, or I'm learning how to draw better and more stable. Because practice, consistency, learn skills, it all leads to a better version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is the one that you craft essentially through fire and through patience and dedication.
Yes. I mean, question.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with rest? How are you seeing yourself in that sense?
How am I seeing myself?
Resting.
Oh, resting. I always enjoy like when I do rest, I just play some of my favorite video games, maybe cook a bit of food. Just enjoy the finer things of life that everything has to be offered. Talk with friends and just relax and vibe.
But in that same sense, on a deeper level, do you see yourself resting enough?
I think I have a fairly decent enough balance where I'm not burning myself out. Because I'll take like days to myself where I just do nothing but just like play video games or just relax.
Yeah.
Because avoiding the inevitable burnout that's going to happen if you grind every single day for too much, burnout will be inevitable if you don't rest. Yeah.
So, but well, I mean, yeah, everything sounds fine, I guess, and everything sounds very, very nice, I will say. So, in that sense, how are you projecting into time? How are you seeing things into the future?
How am I like seeing like planning for the future and stuff like that?
Yeah, in that sense.
In
also,
that sense, yeah.
For example, if you think also about how much time do you think is there before you can more properly do what you know you want to do better, let's say.
Yeah. Oop, I accidentally nudged my table. Oops. Yeah. So it's gonna take a long time, of course, before I can do everything like I want to do at like a proficient level.
Mhm.
I know that once I do manage to actually do what I want to do, like be able to make music, be able to make art, I know that when I do that stuff and learn even more when I'm doing it, because it's basically a forever experience of learning, is that when I do it, I'll be able to use that as a way to express my creativity to the world, to be able to truly express myself to the best of my abilities.
Mhm, mhm. And I mean, the objective is very clear then. And
Yeah.
do you have like a limit, or not like a limit, like an expectation about it is going to take years?
Well, at the pace that I'm going, I feel like in the next 3 years I'll be able to be at least somewhat better at art. Actually, no. It could even take 100 days. Like I remember, like
What?
there was like this whole like so PewDiePie, like yeah,
Mhm.
he did. He made a video where like he did drawn, at least practicing drawn once every day for 100 days. And it really is inspiring
Mhm.
to like a lot of people of like when they think like, oh, I can't do this or it's gonna take too long. It's like you don't need to be too hard on yourself when it comes to practicing. Just even like practicing a sketch every day for 100 days or however long you want it to be can really help you see strides in yourself.
Mhm.
So yeah. Yeah, you really can learn a lot in 100 days. It's just amazing how you can learn so many things in that short span of time, which seems like a lot of time for people, but in the grand scope of like the universe is really like a minuscule like speck.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is not even like 100 days, isn't even a year.
Yeah,
So
it's like not even like 1/3 of a year even.
yeah. Mm.
Well, even then, just focusing on anime faces alone is such great practice because if you practice on faces, you get good with faces, which means that when you get good with the faces, you can practice with the body. And once you get good with the body, you combine the body and the face with the head when you work on the head, and voila, there you go. You got something.
Yeah. But uh, now that we are here on art, um, I I will guess you already know about the different types of art. What you are kind of going for in your particular style that you are trying to develop.
Yes. Oh, I think you're cutting out again.
And sorry, I where did you cut out? Uh, I think it might be my internet because I am as close as I can be to the
Yeah, it
microphone.
might be the internet right now. That might be what it is.
Yeah, but let me check. Let me do my proper show of checking everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. But okay, question was, you know that there are different types of art and there are different types of drawn bodies, as we were talking about. What are you trying to go
Yes.
for now?
Well, my preferred art style at some point is going to be like drawn in like a more, I guess, anime style. And it's like, I look at like my friend's art for like inspiration, and it's like, I wonder, like, if I practice like drawing long enough, if I'll be able to draw as clean as they do. Like, I look at their arts for like inspiration, and it's like, I like what I see here, but it's like, how can I make this uniquely me? You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it always is. In a sense, it always is necessary to not only to do something good and to take inspiration, but as the word says, inspiration, not directly to copy. But
yeah, do not directly copy. Like, get inspired, but don't copy from people. It's like, look at it and think to yourself, I love this. How can I make my art look somewhat similar, but like still be distinctly me, or be as clean as possible? Like, don't copy people's art. It's like, yeah.
But I mean, very well, I guess. Yeah. I had this question also. And how much are you spending time, hours, days on making any particular piece?
Oh, well, for my practices so far, it's about an hour and a half so far every day. Hour and a half. I know, like, at some point, is there any professional artists that inspire you? Yes, there are. People who you'd like to take bits and pieces of to make something of your own. Yes, Klondike. There's a lot of my friends are like professional artists, and they do like art themselves. It's like how. Hold up, let me see if I can find one in Shotubo.
Okay. You send me the image and I send it on stream. Also, if we can. But I mean, not in a sense of the robots. You were kind of lucky to have professional artist friends. I would say.
Yeah, they're great because like if you're stuck, if you're in a rut, you can ask them for advice. And like say like, hey, how do you do this? I want like advice. It's like, can you tell me like a minuscule detail? Because details, even as small as they are. Actually, heck, my whole PNG that I'm using is actually done by one of my friends.
Oh.
The very PNG that I use.
Okay, I can try to do this then. If let me give a second. This should go over here.
Cause like, yeah, my friend, she did a great job with it.
Okay, there it is, as big as it can be.
Yeah.
To fit in the whole screen.
I mean, my PNG's already like on the screen in the stream, so it's like.
Yeah, but it was tiny on a corner. Kind of hard to fully grasp.
Whoa, huge.
There it is now.
It's so good, though. Like, I want to be able to at least draw at a similar level to like make art that's like this clean. It's like great. And I also love how, because it's a PNG, it alternates between talking and not talking. So it's like I'm sipping and then I'm not. It's great. It's amazing. I'm so glad I hired my friend to do this. It was worth it.
I mean, it is. I would guess it is always an enjoyable thing, and even more to see it as good as it turned out to be in this case. But I don't know. Kind of on a different side, kind of crazy to see that sometimes people struggle to find it, to find authors that can do it for them.
Also, it's like when I look at my PNG right now, like I realize that, like, my friend, she has a very distinct style of art. It's like I don't think you see many people who draw like her. And it's like it's so refreshing to see. Because it's like if everyone drew the same way, the world would be boring. The world of art. Like if everyone drew the same lines, the same shapes, the same way. But then it's like how, like, literally there's you and then there's me. Like we're both different. And that's the beautiful thing about everything.
I don't know, it is always crazy to see that in a sense, not only that, every part of somehow things can mix, although at first they wouldn't even seem to be possible to correlate, let's say.
Yeah.
And that is also a part of art itself, to see everything mix after time itself, I will say, because even if you wouldn't have expected to end up, for example, here, next to a potato, you ended up next to a potato.
Next to a potato.
And it happened, and although, as you say, it isn't even close to being the same style, you can understand what you are seeing. It isn't that, wow, this is so man-breaking, no.
No, it's just like literally the perfect example right now. Just seeing it all in one. Of like how different every artist in the world. Everyone can be an artist. Like if you make drawings, if you make art, that is art. It might not be the best always, but it is still art. You're still technically an artist in some capacity. It's just one of those universal truths.
I guess, in a sense, it is always crazy to see people say to others that not everybody can be an artist. At least that is what I think, but the problem, I guess, is we forget the part of you want to be an artist, you will have to practice so much. But practice is what makes art be what it is. I don't think, for example, in the case of your friend, I don't think she was born with the ability to out of nowhere be good at it.
Well, yeah, she had to practice like probably so many days of her life, and then like she went to art school for a bit. It's just like and art is like one of the most subjective things, but it's like everyone can find beauty in something.
Yeah. And I mean, also, as far as I can say is too, you can not only find beauty as something that is sometimes unattainable, but also you can find your own style. And although it might not be every single occasion the perfect piece, what you created, it still feels home, let's say, and it still feels natural to you.
Yes.
And it even more lets everything of what you create have that sense of maturity behind it. And as we're talking about here, your own self into what you are creating also. Because even if what you create isn't really you in a sense, it still needs to carry what you are in another way. Because, what you said before, if every single line were to be the same, art wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, because it would just literally just be like everyone's mimicking each other, because if everyone drew the same, we're basically mimicking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to like have like that bend in your line. That bend could be made into something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only part that gets not said enough is also, if you want to create something good, you need to be ready to spend time on it. Even if it is one single drawing, you will also need to accept that it will take time. So be ready to spend, I will to not make it sound so harsh, to spend as much as the art that you want to create needs to spend. And even more if you want to really make it something that at the end of the day, the first and the foremost, you can enjoy. Because if you are creating something that not even you can enjoy,
then what was the point in the first place?
Yeah.
Because if you're just drawing something, you're not enjoying it, then why are you doing it? Because then you're just wasting your own time. Because that's the thing about, like, the beautiful thing of having, like, so many, like, hobbies and so many things to do in this world. It's like, if one thing doesn't work out for you, try something else. There's always something for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of goes back into the mentality itself. Sometimes after, I don't know, you have spent, let's say, 100 hours doing something, and it failed in the sense of now you see that you really didn't like it. It might feel like you really don't have anything more to do, but after resting, after letting yourself cool down from the situation, you will find a new thing that will motivate you once again, and you will find a new, sometimes even in that same subject that you thought before wasn't alive anymore, a new flame of interest and a new spark of hope almost to keep doing.
And it also doesn't hurt that, like, when you think about it, like, your art is going to be better than somebody's, even if you don't think it is. Because, like, everybody has different levels of art. It's like, my artistic ability isn't great compared to, like, my friends who are professional artists. But a lot of my childhood friends will commonly say, like, that's way better than anything that I could ever do. And it's like, there's always different levels to, like, achieve.
Yeah. And in a sense also, it is completely important, as you will say, to keep it like that and to keep it balanced, because as you realize that you are going to be better than other people, sadly sometimes we decide to overfocus on the side of somebody going always to be better than us, and that is another one of the harsh parts of being an artist,
Yes.
Because unavoidably, whatever you want to do, there is always going to be somebody better, but you only need to be better for the sake of, once again, entertaining yourself. And I guess the problem would be to believe that being the top of everything is entertaining somehow, when literally there is no obligation to do art for that purpose.
Yeah. Also, it's like, what do you do when you get to the top? There's nothing to aspire to anymore. Because, like, when you surpass everybody, say, like, you actually succeed, and you become the best artist that you can be, and you find out that that version of yourself ended up being, like, the best out there. Like, when you are, like, above everything, it's like, what's the inspiration? It's like I say, making it to the top isn't always as amazing as it seems.
The problem is, and even more I will say, when we sadly struggle with who we are and what makes us be what we really are, if you don't comprehend that the race itself of getting to be the best isn't really a necessity, it is only almost as a consequence of different people trying to do what they personally think is the best for them. It is in that moment that, as you say, if you end up in the top, you will find out that you really didn't want to be in the top. You simply wanted to have more and more competition. And if you somehow deceived yourself to the point of, I am going to create art because I want to be better than anybody else. The moment in which you find out that you finally reach that point, there is nothing else to do. What else are you going to do if you are already the best?
Yeah. But it can also create like this whole thing too, where once you make it to the top, you can help bring others up with you. It depends on like what type of a person you are.
Yeah, obviously. No.
Also, I just see like in chat the consequence of getting to the top is somebody will put your art into a neural network model. Unfortunately, this is the sad reality that we live in, where somebody can steal your art, put it into an AI, and it can just generate everything you did in like 20 seconds. It's the pitfalls of technological advancement. Which now leads to the topic of, like, I guess in my mind of, like, have we gone a bit too far with AI?
I mean, it depends.
It really
on
depends.
which sense?
Like, it depends on how the user uses it. Because if a user, like, does it to make art and tries to claim that it's yours, then you are going too far. I don't hate AI per se. It's just, like, I hate the people that misuse it for, like, misguided reasons. Because, just like anything, it was not meant to, like, take things away from people. That's the thing. It's like, everything can be used for any reason. It's like how, like, whatever innovations of the past might not have always been used for their intended reasons. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but wait.
Or I think I just started ranting.
I didn't notice that I muted. I guess not only that, the problem is also there is a difference between doing whatever you want and doing literally anything. Not having burials isn't really the point, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can see it from this point also. Art could be an incredibly good tool to AI could be an incredibly good tool for artists, yet we end up now thinking that, for example, it can only be used for I mean, trying to avoid it is impossible. You can only really use art properly to create porn, for example, when in reality, AI isn't only for that, you know? For example. And I don't know, I guess, yeah, in that sense, it is kind of wild to see that people tends to lose the amount of usages that tools in general can have. It is like saying you can only, if you want to create art on any machine, you can only use this particular program. You can only use a clip. What is it? Paint. You can only use Krita. You can only use clip tool side. When in reality, the different tools are out to utilize, not to exploit unnecessarily, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess the possibility itself also of doing too much is once again, unnecessary. And the sad reality is that in going back into what was also said, we end up having times in which even personal things end up being taken into AI, as in an artist's whole ability, no, soul, transported into a particular AI,
Mm-hmm.
That is also crazy.
It is
kind
crazy.
But I don't know. One tries to not see it so negatively, I guess, because there might be some usages for that. I wouldn't completely discard AI. But
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy, I don't know.
It is crazy.
But well, I mean, I don't think, for example, we're still anywhere close to being really overtaken by AI, as in the sense of all of the art things are going to be done only by AIs and such. In a sense, there might be a better way to say it, that I don't know, but I very much agree with the notion of, now that we have AI, those who really wanted to be artists are finally starting to pick up the pencil, to pick up the tablet, to pick up the brush, and to do what they wanted to do before, because now they also have upon themselves the notion of, I might get replaced, so I better start working now.
It's basically what I like to call the open rebellion against AI, because it's created this mindset. And like a lot of artists of like, people will use the AI, but it will never recreate the soul and the spirit behind the art that I made. They can try and replicate it, but it doesn't have the emotion or the impact that it does if I did it myself.
Yeah. And I mean, the only kind of problem is AI unavoidably is going to make things incredibly more. I mean, it already has made things like so fast that you can get in how much 5 seconds or so you can type something, and the thing that takes the most time is to type your idea, because the AI itself generates your input between 5 and 10 seconds, depending on which one are you using. It literally has no downtime almost.
Pretty much.
But the ghost is, once again, it has no soul. So, it... I don't know. I guess the point is, in reality, we're probably going to see at the very least, I hope, we're going to see a more diverse evolution of arts once again, or something like that, as in more diverse styles, rather than not to attack, but what felt before like the anime blog, for example. Going back into what we were talking, very too many people drawing very similar anime styles, for example. Now we're going to have once again diversity, because AI can generate that blog. Therefore, the diverse parts of it is what are going to be created by people.
Yes.
But I don't know. I wait, because I remember hearing about something like this, and it was, now we're approximating times where people or humanity itself is going to require to be more creative, something like that. So maybe it was kind of true, I guess, taking into consideration that we are not going to have more on mass-produced type of stuff made by people, because the machines are finally getting to the point where all of the mass-produced stuff is being made by the machines, not by us. So what needs to be once again analyze, I guess, is the soul that has everything created by humans. But I don't see it as something negative. I mean,
Yes.
We have basically been talking for the last how much? Half an hour or so about how important it is to have an artistical vision. So basically, the points were already made about why having something like that is incredibly good. No more explanations needed, I think, in that sense of trying your best to do something artistical instead of seeing that, oh no, the AI machine is going to kill me. It can't even draw hands properly. What are you talking about?
Or it generates a third arm or a third leg for some reason.
Yeah.
If AI stays like that for the longest time, I feel like most artists are safe.
Yeah. And
also, I like how a lot of people can discern if art is AI generated, because it has that really, I don't know, plastic feel to it, or generic.
Oh yeah. I mean, I will say probably in 1 or 2 years we're going to see real AI. Really good AIs that are going to not feel so cold, because all of that lack of emotion behind what they create is the biggest, not problem, but the biggest thing that they have right now. And when they can in the future finally be more competent at having emotions transmitted, comprehending that a smile looks like this, a sad face looks like that.
Yes.
When stuff of that sort can get properly conveyed with AI, it is that we are probably going to see a big jump. I wouldn't want to say in the next 10 years, because how much it was 2 years ago, you wouldn't even have predicted that AIs were going to be this powerful, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe only 1 or 2 years, maybe. Yeah, and also not only as Spiker says, the other side is, and I mean, the weird thing, and that is also that humans do, is AI also learns to do the hand hiding thing about, or the limbs hiding thing. They don't show hands, they don't show feet or shoes, because they hide it behind their backs, they hide it behind the portrait. It all is really lacking in that sense. But in that sense, that it happens also with humans, that some people prefer to draw hands behind their backs because it is easier that way.
Yes.
And because they don't have to worry about hands that way. But I don't know. I guess it isn't to create pressure on anybody. It is simply the natural process, To those who can't adapt to those conditions are going to be left behind, I would say. But I don't know. I think, it seems rather full of possibilities. I wouldn't decide that the worst ones are going to be the most famous ones. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Too much AI.
Just like how long we've been talking.
Oh yeah, I don't even know. 2 hours. Very well.
Which is
very
good.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, very amazing so far. How are we feeling? Everything fine?
Yeah, everything's good.
Do we want a break, just in case, to catch our breath?
Yeah, let's take a little breath to catch our breath. A little break to catch
Okay,
our breath.
okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I would say
Okay,
maybe a good
uh,
10 minutes.
yeah. Let me
You want to
set
see
it
an
up.
example
10.
of the stuff I get from AI?
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you can send it in a link, then Ayumo, please send it. Um, here. No, what? I opened something completely different. So, how much? 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
5 or 10 minutes. Let's do 10.
Okay, yeah. 10.
Don't forget to stretch and hydrate if needed. Yeah. Also, I might have to do something pretty quick in a couple minutes, so
Don't
that's
worry.
why 10. But it
Yeah.
won't be
So,
exactly spot on 10. It might be a couple minutes longer.
yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, so, as we said, tiny break. And, well, basically that. People also remember to stretch, remember to take water, and, well, this is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, basically that. Let me start the timer, and, well,
And
2, 1, 0. Wow, here we are. Once again, back. Here we go. Well, so we took our break. I hope everybody could stretch. I hope everybody could hydrate also, just in case. And well, here we are. What? I don't know. we talk about kind of a lot. So, where are we continuing?
I guess we'll be talking about, I guess, like what inspires people.
Overall, do you want to start with your experience or like?
Well, growing up, I had like experience issues, so it's always something important to do to find some form of inspiration. Oh, it is all right to post link in the chat. By the way, like Tupo can answer that question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, I never realized that it was a question. Yes, please post. I mean, yeah, in a sense, it is true that everybody has to find their inspiration. But nowadays, do you have it, let's say, good enough? How do you see yourself performing on that sense?
Yeah. Always find some form of inspiration is always good.
And wait, let me drag this so that we can show this also. Okay, here.
Oh wow.
It looks. Let me try to show it on stream here. It looks fine, yeah. I don't know what was your particular inscription. I
feel like there has to be like a lot of like things. I feel like you would have to put in a lot of things to generate this, because it's like very specific.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not wrong, it is also like a type of.
The legs are. they just seem to be one giant thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I didn't saw that in particular, but let me get
like,
this.
It did the upper parts of the body perfectly fine.
There it is. And also, wait. The legs also cut off.
Yeah, like on the left one for the lace. Yeah. But the right one, you can like, when you notice, it's like, it did that one alright.
No, I mean, they finish before the whole picture ends. That is what I mean, that they cut off.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That there is a blank space. And the next more obvious one that I didn't have that much problem seeing was the hand of the red-haired girl. That one is incredibly unworthy of being there. I think it is. There it is, on the middle on the screen, that hand. The left hand. That one is. Or the leftmost hand. That is also kind of a blur. But the rest of the things don't seem to be that much of a problem, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah, basically, it is advancing. Or, well, no. Wait. I think I found something. The hands also look incredibly curvy. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it's like interesting.
But yeah, I mean, it isn't that bad. It is still not the best, but it isn't that bad. Compared to, yeah, as we were saying, to some months ago, it was very, very worse. That time, or that much time ago. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, in this case, even the inspiration that the AI itself needs is incredibly precise. If you don't give it enough input, it ends up being a blob, and that is the worst type of blob that you can see when you are just trying to utilize AI to create anything. When it lacks enough input, it is almost
If you
ununderstandable.
don't have enough input in there, it becomes more basic.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it might work like that.
But to be fair, it's not as weird as it was like a year ago, but it's still like you can tell it was AI.
Yeah,
it just has a distinct thing about it.
In this case in particular, if you are one of those who only looks for overall bodies and even more on faces, those were passable. So you wouldn't really realize that they were bad. You will need to be looking for details that seem to be wrong, let's say. Because the faces, I mean, I will say it as low end of a manga creator or something like that. Not any particularly creative style, but still anime enough so that you can say, understandable what I am seeing. But yeah, I don't know, kind of weird also what Ayumu says, that supposedly there has been no change whatsoever in the last year, so maybe it was one of those who started strong and has been plateauing a little bit nowadays. I don't know. But yeah. Into the topic itself. I guess we were on your experience. And now, how are you dealing with it? How is it going?
It's something.
It's something.
I'm doing good right now, though. It's just crazy, like how many things can happen in a single day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It never stops being crazy, and it never stops being weird.
Yeah.
But to keep going is what matters, let's say. Because sometimes, even if stuff gets heavy, let's say, what matters is that there is still a tomorrow.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of delaying stuff, but rather on seeing that, for example, in art, even if what today feels an impossible piece to finish, to know that there is also tomorrow is what makes it understandable, as I can focus on these details and after that move on to something different, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess that is kind of I would want, and on that same sense also, as you propose creativity and inspiration, I was thinking about something that and even more trying to trace it into humanity itself. An AI needs inputs, very clear inputs, to create something good. Maybe it is kind of the same with a person. If you don't really have a clear inspiration, a clear idea, a clear something in your mind, it is kind of impossible to create it. Because you literally don't have anything in particular. You simply want to do, for example, art. Okay, but which type of art?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I guess we kind of been talking about it, and I guess we can say already that it is kind of a problem that people, or that is what I don't know. Who forgets to say that, you need to take it kind of to the tiniest details if you can, because also as we discussed before, you create your own model, for example, you create your details, and all of those things is what makes it be what it is. Not because you had an idea at first, it now looks like this. It is rather because you can put that idea into paper, that you can say, this looks like what I wanted. You need to have both things existing at the same time. And I guess in maybe in a sense AI facilitates that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If what you want to do is so, I don't know if simple or what.
I feel like that this is some problem too. I want to make a game instead of I want to make this kind of game with these things. Yeah.
Basically,
sounds about right.
I mean, basically that is the problem with overall creativity. You could sum it up as, I want to do something, but I want to play football. I want to create music. I want to create art. I want to make a game. I want to make a movie. If you have no real idea behind it, it is impossible to do anything. You need to have a vision behind what you are doing, And I wouldn't know how to properly not make it sound so bad, but simply to say you can do it is not a solution to those who don't have a proper vision. I have heard so many people be like, I want to make a game, and they just get a character moving and then don't progress. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I mean, kind of crazy. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It just feels like, kind of like that description just feels very accurate for like AI stuff in general.
Yeah, I mean,
because like you're just telling it to make something. You're not. Some people are not even specific with it. So it just like gives it the most plain, mundane stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
I mean, maybe I don't really know. I think kind of a problem is to realize also that you yourself have not only to find a vision, but to be capable of putting it into words, let's say. Because in this case, we're particularly talking about AI. Therefore, it is kind of implied that you want to put into words what you think because you want the input to be clear. But even if you are doing art for yourself, I don't know how it happens to you, Mari, but in my case, even if I have a vision, I still need to also work it, let's say.
Yeah. And also, I see like another like thing in chat that makes another point is you also generally need to tell it what you don't want to, which means like if you don't want it to like say I don't know, give you like a trait that you don't want, like I don't know, brown eyes for some reason, then you would have to like tell it not to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, for example, sometimes when you don't really know what you want, the possibility of knowing what you don't want is a kind of solution, let's say. Because some people don't realize that in the topic of AI itself, if you are creating something in the realm of I want this particular
I don't know. I want character to have a red right eye and a purple left eye. I think you would have to find a way to like make sure that's consistent and to make sure that it has like doesn't swap the eyes around or whatever like that.
Yeah. And I mean, not only that, but also the reality of I want this, or for example, I want the eyes, and I want the eyes to be this type of, as you said, this type of colors, and I don't want, because I am saying that I want the eyes to be this type of color, it doesn't mean that I want the eyes to be literally the only thing that is in the whole AI generation. I simply want my character to have these qualities, and I want my character to look like this. Therefore, I want it to be in a whole other scenario with these tiny details. It doesn't mean that I want only a close-up of the face or something like that. And yeah, I mean, as Ayumu says, the problem is people sometimes don't really realize that they don't have that much of a clear picture themselves of what they want. That is why it gets hard, you know. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I will kind of say that probably what might happen in a sense is sadly people is going to have to rely on those who can word things for themselves, and in the process of that they might as well not even have the possibility of really getting what they want, you know, because you can go and tell somebody I want a blue hair anime girl in winter. Just with that description you don't really have that much anything, you know. There are so many possibilities to do anything with that, but the rest is up to the creator itself. You can't really get something that satiates your necessity or desire, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Like sometimes you don't know, you don't want something until it happens.
Yeah. I mean,
like you never know when you like do something and you're like, actually I might not want this.
Yeah. I mean, for example, the best case is always on the topic itself of AI. We never knew how horrible it was to have more than 5 fingers until it started happening. And you know sometimes how things can be so discomforting to see until you have them being a reality. But I guess, yeah, I would say it kind of furthering from only AI. We don't have that much of a tendency to think so negatively about everything. I will guess that is why you wouldn't find yourself thinking about how, hey, I don't know, if you are drawing, how hard it will be for you to draw this particular line completely straight when you are not even in that point. You will only be preoccupied about what is in the moment. If you are drawing a hand, you are worried about a hand. You are not thinking while you are doing a hand how the torso is going to look. No.
Yeah.
You follow steps.
Makes sense.
I don't know. Also, there have been really good solutions to hands for years, but FAK, nobody has implemented them into any public models. Yeah, well, I mean, that is kind of that is always also a kind of different discussion, because you realize that sometimes people is doing things only because of the money, and when you have the possibility of having something good for everybody, but you want to hide it from the grasp of every single creator, let's say, just because you want a monetary gain, it gets kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know. But, well, yeah. I can't tell.
I just said,
I can't really tell. I mean,
yeah, to be
in a
fair.
sense, can you, for example, how do you see money in that sense? Do you think it is the final objective?
Huh. That is something to think about. I don't know.
I mean, in a sense, I would simply say, probably, what can feel good is to see that, yeah, money is necessary to live.
Yeah, money
but,
is necessary to live.
Okay. Money is necessary, yes, but if you are doing things only for the money, it is kind of the same as doing things only because you want to be the best.
Like, some people do things for money, and some people just do things to do things.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You should try to do things because you want to do it.
Yeah, I do it because I want to do it.
Probably what is necessary is to balance between doing what you want for the sake of wanting it and what you want for the sake of staying alive, as in paying your bills and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. It is kind of hard, I guess. I would have liked to be taught about
Yeah.
this stuff instead of having to figuring it out myself,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is weird to see that sometimes we seem so far into the future and we still don't have answers for this type of question. I don't know.
I didn't say anything right there.
No, it's okay to do something for money as long as you don't lie to yourself about it. That is what I saw.
Yeah.
If you steal yourself, you like it or something, then you get into problems. If you tell yourself, okay, yeah, it was kind of hard to understand. If you tell yourself you like it or something, then you get into problems. I mean, yeah, obviously, unavoidably, you get into problems. You are, at the end of the day, even more if you know that you are not doing it because you want, you are only hurting yourself and your real motivations.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Not. I guess the problem is sometimes people don't even believe that they can find a real motivation. That might be the real question here, let's say. Because, okay, I think because sometimes we tend to make people seem greater than what they are, it is that a great artist, even if they are great, yes, you make their stories seem greater than what they are. In the sense of, this particular guy is so decided on doing this when in reality he was also human like you, and he also had to go through so many years of asking if he really had an intention behind it or not, and if he really wanted to do it or not. Or let's say that the artist that comes to your mind somehow didn't ask himself if that was a good thing to do or not. But they still had to balance, as we have been also talking, life. And when you miss the stories themselves, when you miss what makes people really get a feeling and an interest, a desire behind those things, it is that you make them look greater than what they really are. But I don't know.
Yeah. I also might be in my art obsessed phase again of life. But nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Would you prefer to be obsessed or something else?
I honestly prefer being obsessed with art.
Yeah, that is the real question then. Because if not, why preoccupy yourself with? I could be, I don't know, worried about. I I will guess having, I don't know, a career, having a family or something like that. But as people say, there is always a time for everything. And to hurry or to mix things up, even more because you don't really see them as necessary better because, I don't know, society tells you that it should be like that. Might as well not be worth it either.
Yeah.
Not that I don't know. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But well, Mari,
Yeah.
I have sadly to say with a strong heart that
Yeah.
I think we are kind of approaching an end. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. But this was a good conversation.
Yeah,
It was a good talk.
Almost 3 hours. And
Yeah.
kind of worrying that we didn't stop that much. But well, in the middle at the very least there were 10 minutes of break. So yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess as always, as I did in the break, people, please remember to watch Mari whenever she goes live, whenever she is also in other places. It is on the team message, her socials, and yeah, as always, I guess once again, a proper shout out. Wait, let me do this first. Sorry for holding you so much, but also, is it gone? Okay. First and foremost, there it is. A shout out first to Ayumu, who was very supportive of this talk also, very helpful. He provided a lot of stuff for this also, so thanks. And well, he also creates stuff. He also streams, so yeah, that people, thanks. And well, now yes, as I said, I think this is it. Some words, Mari?
Yeah. I wonder if there's like anyone to raid, like when we do.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anyone to like to drop into?
Yeah. Let me look that. Let me also first do this. There it is. What? What did I do wrong? Wait. Okay. Here it is. there it is. I can't multiply shout out people. No, this is so sad. I wanted to shout out you. This is so sad. I already did so. I got fucking trolled. Sorry.
Oh, fun fact! Like, if you have like a certain bot set up, you can do exclamation point, shout out. You can do that, and then like my username after that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Depends on if you have a bot set up, though. But that can.
I only have what's it called? I only have stream elements, so. I mean,
it's a
I only have the basic stuff. So well, let me see. Where are we heading to? Hello, when there is so many people streaming,
there is
no
so many
decision
people.
paralysis whatsoever. Oh man, why so? Why are we so many humans on Earth?
Why are there so many people alive?
Yes. Man, no. Not this again, no. Why is so many people alive? I love this. I guess.
This is a good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean. No. Okay, let me do the proper thing. We're going to write. I'm pretty sure you know Mont, yeah? Mary?
Huh?
Mont Vampire, you know? Yes?
Yeah, I know Mont.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, we're going to write there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I have been trying to say for the last 5 minutes or so at this point, as always, thanks for being here, people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for. Oh my fucking god, a bot. This is so sad.
Oh my goodness, a bot. This is depressing. I can't believe a bot shows up at the end. There's no way.
No problem. Fucking band. There it is.
It knows.
So, people.
And the funny thing, we were talking about AI earlier, so this makes it even funnier.
But well. Anyways, so yeah, we, as I said, we're going to end it here. We're going to now write Mont, who, what is she doing? She's playing RuneScape. And yeah, people, as always, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for looking, thanks for watching the world, thanks for everything. Obviously, also, thanks, Mary, for being here. I hope you enjoyed this. And
yeah,
well,
this was a fun time.
Yeah, I hope it can repeat if it is possible.
Yeah, we can do this again at some point.
Yeah. And well, yeah. Now, without any more to say, aside from people take care, whenever we can, we're not getting back here. But now we're writing who Mont Vampire doing old school RuneScape. Everybody, thanks and goodbye. Thanks. Right.
Bye-bye.
Wait.